You guys, I'm really excited that we get to talk to these individuals today. They're a little bit newer to LifeWave, but they're not new to the business of sharing. And they've had huge amounts of success in their career so far and will continue to as well here at LifeWave. They are just awesome, awesome individuals with incredible energy, with a heart for community, with a heart for sharing. And I know you guys will just love their energy when they come on here because, man, they have done some incredible things. And this is a big treat. I'm just telling you guys, we're really, really lucky. So please let me introduce the powerhouse, amazing, beautiful, fabulous couple, Lovell and MJai Scotton. Hey, guys.
Hey, Emily. Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you guys doing? Looking good.
Hi, Jean.
Hi, good to see you.
How are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
Great show.
Yeah.
Thanks, you guys. We really appreciate you coming on today and sharing your time and your talents and your knowledge with us. I know we have some people here on the call that are new. We have people on the call that have been with LifeWave for a while now. And, you know, we have people all in between. And so we know that we can learn some great things from you with your experience. And specifically, something that we really were excited to talk to you about is just, you know, how have things been working for you with LifeWave? How you've been working within your community? I know you guys are very community focused, and so I know that this what we've been talking about, this new normal, has really changed the way that we do business. And so I thought you guys would be the perfect ones to talk to us about that. So my first question, if you're okay, if I just dive right in, is that okay?
Yeah.
All right. So tell us a little bit. We asked Victoria a similar question, but I want to hear this from you as well. So when things started to kind of change in our world, first and foremost, how did you initially respond? And what would you say was the most challenging thing for you guys to shift in, and why?
Well, you know, thank you for the opportunity, Emily. This is really an honor. So, well, when I started using the product in November, and when I joined January the 10th, from that moment, I would go into people's homes that I didn't even know. They didn't know me from a can of paint. And I literally, you know, and it didn't matter what nationality they were, I would ask if I could pray over them before I got started.
Mm.
And so they would be so surprised, like, wow, really? You want to pray over me? I want to pray for you and over you. Is that okay if I can do that before I, you know, start to patch you? And, you know, after we've gotten our initiation out the way and, you know, speaking about the conditions of them and so forth and what these patches are capable of doing. And I would just let them know the healing is not in the patches. Simply the healing is in your body. And so by sharing that and then, you know, really making them feel warm and loved, that was it. I let them know how much I cared, how much I loved them for who they are allowing me to come into their space. And, you know, that right there brought down all the walls. It broke it down, you know, and I felt it. And so we would begin to have a short, powerful prayer, and then I would begin to patch them. And so this has totally changed the dynamics, you know, of how I communicate. As you are right, this is relationship marketing, you know, and I've taken it even further than that. This is legacy marketing, okay? Simply legacy marketing. And, you know, it's important because my legacy is not just my family, but it's the tree in which we build.
Yeah.
That makes sense?
Yeah, it does.
So you know, I'm a touchy-feely type of person. And
Well, agreed too.
So you know, me not being able to touchy-feely you, it was very hard for me. You know, I'm a people person. I'm a belly-to-belly type of person. You know, I'm not a phone person. I'm not a computer person. I like to be in your face, you know, right or wrong, good or bad. I want to be in your face. And so it really changed how I communicated. And so now that I've switched over to, you know, getting more involved with media, social media, and more computers and Zooming and stuff like that. And still, I will ask people that my teammates will get on the call and have me a three-way. Can we pray? Can we pray first? So I still do that even on the phone because it's important to me. It's important to me to pray with my teammates. It's important for me to pray with their new prospects, to let them know what type of family. We're not just about business. You see, money is just the byproduct of the health. A person without their health is a person without their wealth all day long. And if you don't have a spiritual foundation, that will not stand. So that's what the difference is for me, and how this pandemic has totally changed the paradigm of how I do things. So back to you.
Yeah, and
Love
Lovell,
that. I
you.
love that. That's
Yeah,
so beautiful.
Lovell, I'd love to hear from your point of view, what kind of a shift you saw when the pandemic hit, and how you kind of changed it up.
Well, we're both the same, basically. We just love people, you know. Our faith is very strong, but we love people, so we care about people, and we always teach that you have to love your team. You really have to love your people. And for example, I went to a friend's office. His secretary was there. He wasn't there, but I asked her, does she have some pain? I put the patch on her, and I left 2 patches for the next couple of days. And I asked her before I left, so how's your pain? She's like, it's okay. But I left her 2 patches.
Yeah.
The next day, she put another patch on, and the next day, she put another patch on. And she called me the week after, and she said, Lovell, I didn't want to tell you that my pain went away while you were still there in the office. And she said the pain came back the next day. I put the next patch on, and my pain went away. And the next day it went away. She said, Lovell, how much are those patches? Okay, so she's been a customer since. But when the pandemic came, we were like, okay, so how do we do this? Now, we've done webinars, of course, before, because my wife has been around the industry for over 30 years, and my wife actually introduced me to the industry when we first started dating 22 years ago. And we just started doing more Zooms, more 3-way calls, more we actually do party lines.
We do party lines.
Yeah, we have.
We get it going on.
We have like 4 or 5 or 10 people. Yeah. Everybody's 3-way, everybody.
I mean, all over the world, even in Africa. You know,
we're on WhatsApp, and we're
in Japan and in Philippines.
In the Philippines, we're on Messenger talking, and so we've transitioned, and our team is still growing every day by
like leaps and bounds. It's crazy. And
because our group is in the Philippines and Africa and Canada and all over the world.
In Malaysia.
Yeah, and it's all so we get a little rest in between time because we're up all kinds of hours for time zones. But yes, we've transitioned because there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah.
And if you're really committed and you trust the process, it will work for you. It works for us, and it'll work for anybody. But the real key is consistency. You really have to be consistent, because anything that you're consistent with, you always get better over time, and you kind of figure it out. They even have something in our industry, they say fail fast. A lot of people are afraid of failure, but like Michael Jordan said, he failed his way to the top. He learned through his experiences. So we've learned, and we've gotten much, much better, and we're going to continue to get better, but our team is getting better.
That's the key. Our team is getting better. And I tell people, I said, don't compare yourself to other people. If you really want to compare yourself to the greatest. That has yet to be written.
Which is you.
Which is you.
Right. I
love it.
Who you compare yourself with, Kentucky, Mr. Kentucky Fried Chicken, right?
Colonel Sanders.
Colonel Sanders. He failed his way all the way till he was 75 years old.
Yeah. He didn't become successful.
He didn't
until
become,
75.
he was exactly successful until he was 75 years old. You
Yeah.
know, how do you know that? You have to read the books. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. You have to read, you got to stay in the know. You have to read your personal developments. And my husband and I are very strong on personal development. You know, we teach our team, you know, because without the personal development, that is the glue. You know, what is your why? Why are you here? Where's your dream board? What's keeping you in the game?
Yeah.
Because as you know, the difference in this pandemic is, you know, while you are, I mean, for instance, may I back up? We've been in many other businesses, as many of us have. However, through the ups and downs, the turnaround of the economy and everything, you know, you would normally have to bang down doors and run from people because they're mad at you and you're mad at them because they won't join your business, and they're mad at you because all you talk about is business, 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 and they don't want to invite you to dinner anymore, right?
Yeah.
So now it's like we're not, the old saying goes, right, honey? We're looking for people who are looking for us. We're not looking for anybody. In this company, they're all looking for us.
Yeah.
That's been electrifying, man. I mean, it has grown so fast from January the 10th to where we are in less than 6 months to almost having 700 people. Oh, I mean, we built teams of 20,000 people. Woo, woo, that's right.
Yeah, that's right.
And we've built teams of 20,000 people in 9 different countries. But
Wow.
it took us 3 years to do that. And we never got this, you know, this far so quickly, right?
Right.
This is amazing.
So yeah.
So this is amazing because the product works. And what do you say, honey? When it works.
If it works immediately, it'll network immediately.
There you go. When it works immediately, it'll network immediately. Whether it's a pandemic, an epidemic, your pandemic is your business. That's what it is. So let it be epic, baby.
Wow, you guys had such incredible energy. I love what you're sharing with us here. Like, I'm just eating it up. I'm seeing all these comments coming through on the chat, and everyone's just like, oh my gosh, go you, go you. Like,
Yeah.
seriously, you guys are doing incredible things. And I really appreciate you sharing some of these perspectives with us. You know, when the first time we talked on the phone, I just felt this electricity from the both of you. And I was so excited that you're a part of LifeWave. And then you started sharing with me a little bit about what you're doing in your community, right? And how you're still trying to share and serve and love while you're building your business at the same time. And I think that's something that's very unique with you. And I love that. And I'd love for you to talk to us a little bit more about what that looks like. So as you're working in your community, what does that look like? Or what does that look like for you from a health perspective, from a financial perspective, or just from a service perspective? Tell us a little bit about how you're doing that right now, because you're obviously doing pretty dang good in the business too. So
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. I was very excited to be able to share with, as my husband said, he's been in the trenches, you know, and that even though I may be a name on the top, he signed in under me, but together we work this business, and we work this business together because that's all we've done for 22 years. And being able to go into our community, share with our Christian fellow brothers and sisters all over the world, that right there is our community. And so it really has been completely, effortless, because utilizing the system, you know, being able to point to it and being able to show people how simple it is, because people are busy, you know, and especially in the community, you're dealing with business people, you're dealing with churches, bishops, pastors, and my husband is in the trenches, and he can shed a little bit more light on that.
Well, in our community, we've always been able to give back. So what we've done in our community is not only share with just about everyone that we know, we're actually putting together a program, and I'll just touch on it really, really briefly, that we want to give back, where we want to give product away to the community. We want to give it away, especially to people who really don't have the resources to actually, purchase our products. Because what is happening is they say it's better to give than it is to receive.
Right.
So we're starting to just give away products, and we've given away a lot, but we're getting ready to give away even more. So he's going to touch on that really, really, really briefly, but you'll be hearing more about that as we develop that program as well.
Okay. All right. Well,
I do want to share something also, because it'll probably come up next week. My wife has hit senior director, so let's give her a hand. Well, she's hitting director.
Big round of applause.
Director in a little bit, so we're very excited about that as well.
No. He said I would be hitting executive. No.
Oh.
I'm going to be hitting senior presidential. Okay. I'm going to jump to the top.
Hey, I like it.
Japan, I kudos to Japan, but I'm on your shirt tail, darling. Okay, I'm on your pants tail. I'm on your shoes. I'll be right there with you.
I love it.
well, you guys are just a shining example of having the right attitude during times that are uncertain. You just embrace it, and I love that. I love your energy, and I love the way that you reinvented yourselves, during this pandemic. So thank you so much for coming on and sharing all that wonderful enthusiasm. It was great.
Oh, thank you, Jeannie. Thank you so very much, Emily. We love you both. You guys are amazing. Thank you for all that you're doing. Thank you for including us. And thank you for being you here in Iceway.
Before we I guess end, or unless you have some more questions, I just want to share with everyone on here. My wife actually introduced me to the industry 22 years ago when we first met. And they asked me, did I want to make some money? And I said, sure, although I already had a job. And I'm going to share this with everyone. They said, well, if you want to make some money, they said, in this industry, don't miss anything, sit up front, pay attention, and take the notes. Everyone that's on this call, show up to everything.
Show up to blow up.
Yeah, we teach show up to blow up, but you do have to give up to go up. It is a sacrifice, but it will be worth it. So you want to share those little golden nuggets with you guys, because we want everyone to help LifeWave build to $1 billion.
And it's not hocus pocus, but focus. So stay focused, y'all.
Oh my gosh, you guys. I love that.
Politics.
I love that, you guys. I do have one question, and it kind of ties back to what you were just sharing. This may be you've already answered this, but my favorite question whenever I'm talking with powerful leaders like yourselves, I love to say, if you could talk to baby you, so 22 years ago, 30 years ago, baby you, when you're brand new, wide-eyed, oh my gosh, what is this business? What? Oh my gosh, I can accomplish this. Oh my gosh, I can change this part of my future. What? And we all make lots of mistakes when we're in that state, which is okay. But tell me, if you could go back 30, 22 years, what would you tell yourselves? And then what would you share with everyone if you could say one thing that would have helped you to be even more successful more quickly?
Well, we do the same thing. Everybody needs a mentor. We like to say, hey, be a copycat. Find the right cat and copy him. It really is that simple. It really is that simple about paying attention to what works. There's things that work and there's things that don't work. But there's things that work, but there's things that work better than other things. Okay, so you want to find out where the advantages are. But going back 22 years ago, the first thing that we did when I first got invited out to a meeting, I made my list. The list is what it's all about. When you make your list, you will start thinking of more and more people. And I made a list of about 250 people. My wife made a list of about 200, but that list just kept growing. And it doesn't make a difference. Here's the key. You can't say the wrong thing to the right person, and you can't say the right thing to the wrong person. You just have to talk to people.
Yeah.
because this is a numbers game. It really is a numbers game. And I heard a story one time, and I don't want anybody to get afraid of numbers. I heard a story one time. They interviewed a guy, and they said, hey, we interviewed a lot of the people in this company, and a lot of them said, oh, I have all these products, it's not working for me. But we came to your house, and you have a palatial home, a 20-car garage. He said, what's your secret? They said, what's your secret? Look like you're doing very well here. He said, there is no secret. He said, I simply shared my program to 1,200 people personally. He said, out of 1,200 people, 900 said no, and 300 said yes. He said, out of 300 that said yes, only 85 ever did anything. He said, out of 85 that ever did anything, only 35 were serious. He said, but out of the 35 that were serious, 11 made me rich.
Wow.
That's the key. You have to talk to people, and you work with the willing. You find the people, like my wife said, we're looking for people who are looking for a change. Some people are looking for a change more than others. But you have to go through the numbers, because it is, at the end of the day, it is a numbers game. And let me share this with you as well. My wife and I, in that company that we built an organization of 20,000 people, guess when we heard that story, we personally recruited 300 people. Because we said, we found the right cat and we copied them.
Exactly.
So,
I would like to answer that if you don't mind.
Please, yes, please.
Jeff Olson.
mhm.
Jeff Olson wrote something very profound. That's the
Slight edge.
The slight edge.
It's like that.
The slight edge.
Huh?
And he said, when you was once a baby, you crawled. And one day you looked up and you said, well, maybe that's what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm gonna paraphrase this.
Everybody was walking.
And he said, everybody was walking, and maybe I should get up and try my legs, right? So you grabbed hold to the couch and you fell down, and you got up again and you walked a little, you crawled around the couch again, and you fell down. And then you got the nerve to grab onto the coffee table. It seemed so far away, but you reached your little arm out there anyway, and you fell down. So you crawled over to the coffee table, pulled yourself up again, and you continued to go around the coffee table. And then one day after you got tired of falling down, and you got the nerve to actually take a step away from the coffee table. And then you fell down again. And then you got back up and you looked back, and there was no coffee table, there wasn't any couch. So you try your legs, and you fell down again. They were a little bit too wobbly, the feeble legs didn't hold you up, but then you got up, and all of a sudden you took one step, and then you realized that one step held you up, and then you took another step, and to your amazement, that step held you up, and then the next thing, I'm putting a lot of my own words in it, and then and then the next thing you knew, you were in stride, and you were taking steps, and you were actually getting the applause of your parents and family and friends, and you knew you were doing the right thing, and then you were holding on to your father, your mother's finger, and you were actually walking with them. You see, guys, don't be afraid to fall down. It's okay to scrape your knee, but when you get tired of scraping your knee, you'll get up and you'll start walking, but you can't run and fly before you start crawling. So that's what I would say to myself if I was a baby getting into this, and I realized that I had to crawl before I can walk.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And one of our distributors also shared that failure is the first step to success.
Yes.
That's a Chinese proverb, I guess. So thank you for sharing that. And
Thank you.
yeah, wonderful, wonderful advice. Well, we really appreciate you.
Just great.
Yeah. And thank you for your inspiring words. We really appreciate your time.
No,
Thank you.
Thank you guys for having us, and look forward to working with this amazing company. We finally found it after 22 years for me and over 30 years for my wife. But hey, you know what? A quitter never wins and a winner never quits.
It just prepared us for this moment.
That's a great slogan.
Love you
Thanks so much,
guys.
guys.
Seriously, so glad you're here with us. Thank you for sharing your hearts, your
Thank
tips, your ideas, your passion, and such great perspective. You guys are an inspiration, and we just appreciate all you're doing. We're really lucky to have you as part of our Lifeway family. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Hearts.
Hearts.
All right.
Woo-hoo. Go get that light.
God bless
Thank you,
everyone.
guys.
Thanks so
Bye-bye.
much.
God
All
bless.
right, bye, guys.
Bye-bye.